Hi everyone, welcome to Grow Roots. This is Shannon and welcome to my March 2026 backyard garden tour. Hello everyone, thank you for joining. I just had to film the March garden tour while my absolute favorite perennial vine was in full bloom, and this is Tangerine Beauty Cross Vine. We're gonna get to that in just a moment in the garden tour, but look at this. I don't know if y'all can see, you can barely see the bees because all of them are inside of the flowers, but just check that out. The bees are definitely all over this plant. They don't care about me being here, so I don't mind them being here at all, and we're not here to hurt each other in any way. They're just getting all of their food from all of these flowers, and you can barely tell that there are any leaves on this vine because it's just seriously 100% covered with blooms. It is so gorgeous. And if I waited any longer for my March garden tour, which there's a couple of things I wanted to be blooming for y'all, but at the same time, ooh, a bee did just come and get me. But at the same time, these guys are gonna lose their full bloom status here somewhat soon and drop their flowers. And so I needed you guys to see this because it really is such a stunning vine. It's a superstar vine. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, let's move on to the beginning of the garden tour where I usually begin. And that is now going to be over here where my shed garden is. This is the newest garden in my backyard. I am in North Texas on the border of zone 8A and 8B, and we just put this garden bed in. Ooh, I left the doors open so you can see what's in there. So much storage, but we put all of this in, gosh, I think it was in August. So it was when things started maybe getting cool, like late August. But anyway, everything is brand new, and some things didn't make it, and we'll show that to you, but some things are looking amazing. And so let me just start off with the pop of color that you see, and that is this lemon ball sedum. They weren't looking amazing during winter, although they were semi-evergreen, but they sure are coming back, and they are just this huge bright pop of color as my border to this garden. And I have it all the way around. And then what I have here, and oh, this was my vision, you guys. I have some muscari and some southern, like, naturalizing daffodils that are planted right behind the lemon ball sedum. This was the picture. This is what I wanted all throughout my garden bed, or all around my border of this garden bed. And I didn't have enough. Actually, there's a lot of muscari planted over here. I don't know why it didn't come up, but I just barely had enough for like these two corners. And so that's why you see them mostly on these corners. I will, as the years go by, I will fill those in all with muscari and more daffodils as well. But I just kind of wanted to see what that would do this year, and it just is stunning. The muscari is up, some daffodils are up. They're looking quite lovely. Let me show you over here too. I have a little bit more muscari on this side than I had on the other side, but that is just, that daffodil's almost done, and I think the daffodils are coming out of bloom, and it was a little bit mistimed. The muscari is just now coming into bloom, and then the daffodils are coming out of bloom. A little bit mistimed. That was a mix that I bought from Holland Bulb Farms, but still absolutely beautiful. So that's what you see as the border there. And then mixed in, well, this was planted first, but these are Stella d'Oro daylilies. So I purposely planted the muscari and the daffodils kind of in with the daylilies because we need to keep this foliage here after they die off so that they can have enough energy to bloom next year. And the Stella d'Oro daylily kind of helps, you know, it all looks like the same thing. So, but those will be nice, beautiful blooms. They are super heat tolerant, Texas tough daylilies. And so those will be in bloom probably next. And then let me come back here and start on this side, show you what I've got going on. I've got all perennials in these gardens. This one is Sweet William, And this is one of the plants that I wanted to wait to show y'all until they were blooming. It'll probably be in my April tour because they're just beginning to put on those petals, but not quite yet. But this Sweet William is going to be gorgeous. By the way, this is Chloe. She is our backyard garden cat. She chose us. She was a stray that had already been fixed. I think someone dumped her here. And I am super allergic to cats, and yes, I'm petting her. I will wash, but she can't come in. But she has a home in our backyard. We feed her, give her water, we give her shelter in the wintertime, a little heated kitty house. She's very spoiled, and she joins me on all of my backyard garden tours. She is so sweet. Say hi, Chloe. Oh, hi, sweetie. Okay, so back to gardening. I had a Gatsby pink oak leaf hydrangea that was very tiny when I bought it. It was one of those quart size from Proven Winners Direct. And I didn't know if this was gonna make it. It just now started leafing out this past week. This is why you see this cage over it, because she likes to go and rub all over everything, and then also my dogs were getting in there, and so I put a cage over it to protect it. But it is coming back. I'm so happy to see that. It was very late coming back. I'll show you my other oak leaf hydrangea that is way further advanced than this is, but this one is, you know, they say with perennials and shrubs, just keep them alive the first year. They're gonna sleep the first year. If you can keep them alive, then the second year they will creep, and the third year they will leap. So it's going to be small for a while, but when it gets mature, it will be 8 feet tall and wide. So there's that. Coming right over here, you can see one of my perennials is already blooming. This is not even a spring blooming perennial, y'all. This is blanket flower, or gaillardia, and this was my first blooming perennial last year as well, and it was my last blooming perennial. As a matter of fact, I had blooms until the ice storm in mid-February. So I really had blooms almost a full year with blanket flower. Now, this first flower is a little bit wonky because it started budding up, I think, before the ice storm, or we had a freeze and it made it wonky. That's okay, but I have lots more buds coming up. So blanket flower, if you want a perennial that's heat tolerant, drought tolerant, super tough, and then also it blooms all season long, these beautiful red and yellow blooms. This is the plant for you. It is so easy to grow. And then coming over here, I have an Alexandrina magnolia that is potted here. I got for free last year as part of I think it was, I don't remember the two companies that were giving away the free trees anymore. But I got it for free, and I was so happy to have that. And it gave me 2 beautiful blooms, even as tiny as it is. And so it's leafing out now, and it's doing beautiful. Then I have Russian sage right here. They too were kind of evergreen for me, and I can see, I think it's starting to put on buds, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really awesome. And then over here, I have Texas rock rose, which again it's a deciduous, perennial, but it didn't fully lose its leaves until the ice storm we got in, mid-February. And so, but it's coming out, it's doing really well. So Texas rock rose, super heat tolerant as well. And then I have Veronica. This is my first time growing Veronica, and last year it was absolutely stunning. I wanted more and more and more of it, so I'm growing more Veronica this year. The leaves started coming out and we got a freeze, and so that's why I think the leaves are all bumpy like this. I don't think they were bumpy like this before. Again, this is a new perennial, for me especially. I don't think they're supposed to be bumpy, but I'm gonna say that cold nipped them, and that is why they look the way they do. But it's okay, because the purple blooms, the purple spikes that come from this are just unbelievable. And again, it's a super tough plant. And then I have a Shasta daisy that is starting to spread like crazy as well. It's doing really well. I don't see any signs of trying to bloom yet, but I'm excited for that. And then next to it is a Sweet William. The first little petal came out today. That's exciting. And then on this side, I have much the same. So this is Shasta daisy and then Sweet William here. And this one's pink and coming out. These will be amazing mop head pink flowers. The other one is white, but they are absolutely stunning. And so I have them really dotted all throughout my gardens because I absolutely love this plant. Super heat tolerant. Evergreen through the winter for me, so it's also very cold tolerant, and you just can't beat the blooms that it puts on every spring. So love that plant. And then right next to it is yarrow. This is a summer pastels yarrow, and it's already putting on buds. Oh, so excited. And then I have a Cheyenne Spirit Echinacea. I have 3 of them. So 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of a little swoop of them. They are beautiful multicolored. So yellows and oranges and pinks and reds is what Cheyenne Spirit is. And they are so beautiful. So I'm so glad all 3 of those came back as well. All right. And then coming over here are the things that are struggling a little bit, to be honest. Well, one thing that's not struggling, and I'm super happy about that, my Japanese maple. This is, again, new from October. This is an Orangeola Japanese maple, and it's all starting to bud out. Absolutely beautiful. Some really beautiful spring color is about to happen with that, and it's doing very well. Now, the thing that I think did not come back is this. This was supposed to be Firelight Tidbit. Again, I purchased a lot of quart size Proven Winners direct shrubs, and let's just say I regret buying them so small. I don't think I should have done that. I did this before and the shrub didn't make it either. I bought a little quick fire hydrangea that didn't make it through the first season, and now my Firelight Tidbit has not made it through its very first season. At least, well, oh, maybe it did. There is green. There is hope. Okay, yay, that's exciting. It just has taken these guys a long time to come out of dormancy. I have other limelight hydrangeas that are way out of dormancy and fully leafed out already. And then this one is just beginning to break, but that's really exciting. Okay, so I didn't lose it. Let's just keep it alive that first year, right? And then the other one I thought I was going to lose, but a few days ago I saw new growth. Was this one. This is Invincible Mini Mauvette. This is a smooth hydrangea. My first time growing a smooth hydrangea. And there is that one little bit of growth. There you go. And it is getting bigger every day. I'm checking on that. So I'm really excited that I just hope I can keep it alive. I really do. I want that plant so, so bad. And then right here is Perfectamundo Fuchsia Carpet Azalea. So this is a really mini, it's almost like a trailing ground cover azalea. So I was really excited about that prospect of an azalea not being a big shrub, but more of a ground cover kind of thing. And these beautiful blooms, these fuchsia blooms, very, very happy about this plant. Even though it is so small, it is doing so well in its first year. So yay for that. I have a, goodness, what is this one? This is a Gerbera Daisy. This one is, I forget the variety. It's a hot pink that I divided a Gerbera Daisy that was doing so fabulous on my front porch, put it here, and it struggled. Not gonna lie, it struggled, but it is coming back, so that's exciting. And then I have, now this guy needs more fertilizer than I gave it. I gave it some soil acidifier and fertilizer, but this is just a endless summer hydrangea that I propagated, and it's very tiny, and so it is coming back, but it's already it's yellowing, showing signs of chlorosis. So I need to hit this with maybe some iron, some more fertilizer, and I think it will be fine. And then lastly, this one, if it survives, I will be so happy, but it's just not looking great. This is an evergreen shrub for the shade, because this is shade back here. This is Paisley Pup Dog Hobble, and it's supposed to be heat tolerant and all of the things, and okay for Texas, but I don't know. It definitely has struggled ever since I planted it, to be quite honest. And I can see new growth right there. but I've seen new growth and then it ends up looking like that. It just looks worse and worse and worse. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep it alive that first year, but we're going to try. We're going to try for sure. So anyway, that is, and this was actually a native plant, part of this creek area that is behind our house. This is a greenbelt area, and so this was a holly that was already here when we moved in, and I do love it because it grows in the shade and it's evergreen and all of the things. So anyway, that's what that is, if you're wondering. So let's move over. I'm gonna show you my shade garden right on this side. This is the north side of my house, and this is 100% full shade. And so all of the things here can take full shade and Texas heat. So starting over here, I have some liriope all throughout the entire bed, and it's just kind of coming back right now. And then this is Sea of Hearts Forget-Me-Not Brunnera. Super tough, keeps coming back even though my puppy keeps digging it up. So she hasn't dug it up in quite a few months though. So hopefully we're on, you know, the upswing on this, and hopefully it will do really, really well and get much, much bigger, and we'll see some blooms on that beautiful plant very soon. And then each of these containers is potted up with very large hostas. This one is a blue elegans hosta, and it is coming back, and you can see it's doing well. This one is Elabroic hosta. And again, like, some of these are more advanced than others, but all of them are coming back beautifully, which I'm very happy about. And then this one, Proven Winners, Shadowland Woo La La. Look at that already. Those perfect hosta leaves before the snails get to them that have just come out. Oh, they're so pretty. And then this one is Shadowland Diamond Lake by Proven Winners. So yeah, and we had like an actual freeze for a couple of hours while this was leafed out and that was leafed out, and they did just fine. I did not cover them, so I'm super proud of them. And then right here is an autumn fern. Oh, it's just such a rock star in Texas. I love, love, love autumn ferns so much that I put another one this past year, here. And so it's still in its first year growing, but look at all this new growth. I don't know if that's going to be a new leaf or if this is its reproductive phase. I don't know. I'm not experienced with ferns, so those of you that know ferns, you can let me know what. I remember my other one doing this, but I think it turned into the leaves. I was pretty sure. I thought so. Anyway, it's doing fabulous. Over here, I have a giant leopard plant, and this guy, honestly, again, it only died back when we had our ice storm in mid-February, and then it almost immediately came back after the ice storm. Look at these amazing leaves. Oh, just gorgeous. I love giant leopard plants. Awesome, awesome plant. And then this guy is another endless summer hydrangea that I propagated, that trying to see if it has buds in there yet. I don't think quite yet, but it's doing okay. It's doing okay. I want to see if it will bloom in full shade. That's my experiment with that. So, all right. So now we're getting into the full sun garden over here. So what you guys were looking at before, this is kind of shade, part shade. This could be, it's arguably full shade slash part shade. And then again on this side, once the tree above us leaves out, this back will be mostly shade and part shade. Right now everything's full sun, but this is all part shade, and then here is my full sun area. I have some containers. I'll talk about those later, but let me get into the garden. So first is spirea. This is a double play Big Bang spirea. And again, this is in its first year, and it's doing well. It's looking beautiful, and it's putting on some buds. The leaves come out red, like this is the red that they come out looking like, and then they turn like this bronzy color, and then they turn kind of yellow, and then they turn lime green like this. And so it's just the most gorgeous plant when it starts leafing out in the springtime, and then it gets blooms in late spring-ish, which is why I'm kind of surprised that it's already going. But our weather here this year is kind of crazy. It's already well advanced of what it normally would be, probably. So that's super fun. I have a border here of dwarf Mexican petunias. They are pink. There's also a purple and a white variety. They do really well there. And then here is a double play candy corn spirea, but it's not coming back very well yet. There's a lot of woody growth that has not leafed out yet. And that's interesting to me. Like, some of it's coming back and some of it isn't. It has a hollyhock next to it that has exploded in growth. And I wonder if that is why. Like, I didn't realize the hollyhock was going to take that much room when I planted it last year. And so the hollyhock, I've been even cutting the hollyhock leaves off to try and give it more room, but I'm kind of giving up now. It's just, it keeps coming back in full force. And so I wonder if it's just nutrients being taken from the candy corn, or sunlight, or all of the above. And so I wonder if it's a nutrient deficiency because the hollyhock is taking all of the nutrients of the soil, or if perhaps it's, you know, taking over its light or its space. I don't know. But the candy corn spirea does not like to be crowded. Now I know. And anyway, we'll just have to see. But it is gorgeous. And there's one back here. There is a growth that is covered up that is starting to bud out. Isn't that cool? But poor thing is completely shaded now from the hollyhock. It's so funny. Anyway, hollyhock, that should be blooming. This is year 2. They do not bloom first year, so that will be blooming, I think, early summer. I have another summer pastels yarrow. Wow, this is one plant, you guys. It's huge. And do I see? I don't see any blooms on that quite yet. Which is interesting, but anyway, excited to see those. And then I have echinacea dotted all throughout here. So different types of echinacea as well. Echinacea purpurea is right here. There is a larkspur that seeded itself. That's right there. I have echinacea, I forget which echinacea that is. It is, oh, Sunseeker's orange. Yes, okay. Sunseeker's orange echinacea is right there. This is a ground cover called Plumbago Ceratostigma. It is coming up everywhere in this bed, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. It will bloom blue flowers all summer long and into fall, which is so beautiful. You can see that I have daffodils. They didn't really bloom though, which is crazy. I left these daffodil leaves out to get their summer energy, or to get their energy to bloom again, and they did not. I got maybe a couple blooms, but not worth all of this foliage. Anyway, those are daffodils. There's larkspur coming up all over the place. There is a white swan echinacea there. There is a powwow echinacea there. I have a dianthus down there with those beautiful purple blooms. And then I have another echinacea powwow over there. I have a star jasmine vine over here that the vine did almost completely die back, but you can see not all of the vine died back. So we should be getting some star jasmine blooms fairly soon on those. And then I have another Sweet William right there. This Sweet William is 4 or 5 years old. They usually are short-lived perennials. After they bloom their second year, they tend to die back, but this one has not. And so it's just trudging along. It's awesome. So that's really cool. Right here is so exciting. It is a peony that is coming back. I planted 2 peony bulbs 4 years ago, and I still have not seen either one of them bloom. This is one of them. And so I'm hoping that this is the year. I really, really, really hope that this is the year the peonies will bloom. If not, oh, I will be so frustrated. I checked to see if they were buried too deep. They weren't. They're like right there, about like right below the surface of the soil. So I know that's not it. I'm just not really sure why, but it has taken a long time for these guys to bloom. But hopefully this year. And then I have another Echinacea purpurea there. Again, you'll see more larkspur coming up everywhere. And then more star jasmine is right here. I'm gonna get some star jasmine blooms here pretty soon, which is awesome. And then I have a sapphire indigo clematis right here. But I also had a Jackmani clematis down here. So I kind of can't tell now what is sapphire indigo and what is Jackmani. Oh, look at this. It's gonna bloom. Yay, there's a little bud. Okay, so that's really exciting. And then I have a rosemary that died back in the ice storm and appears to be making a comeback there. Another thing that really isn't doing well is my Texas sage. I have one portion of my Texas sage that is coming back, but I have another portion of my Texas sage that is completely gone. I don't think it's coming back. I'm really debating on just taking the entire thing out. It just got so unhappy. I'm not sure why. Could have been too much water, potentially. Just not really sure. But my prerogative is that if it's not doing well and it's struggling, just take it out and take it as an opportunity to plant something new, which is exactly what I think I'm going to do. Not sure what I'm going to do there yet, but you know, it opens it up for new things. Coming into this portion of my garden, there's not a lot planted under there because I have a massive sunshine ligustrum. It is probably about 9 feet tall. They are only supposed to get 5 feet tall and wide. This guy, I had to, I guess you could say, tree it up. I tree formed it. And look, I can already see the whitefly. Oh, it is susceptible to whitefly. And I have it in my front as well. And that is a frustrating thing. I hit it with some systemic insecticide and it still appears to be not working. So anyway, this guy kind of tries to take over this whole area. And so it becomes shade for everything underneath it. These things are kind of a part sun in the midday for the most part. But so I have a limelight hydrangea down there. Let's get down there. I'll show you. I do have some weeds. Please forgive me. I haven't been able to get all of the weeds as they come up. So here's my limelight hydrangea, my Echinacea purpurea. I have another Texas sage back there. Not a great spot for it. Another Confederate star jasmine there and another Confederate star jasmine there. And then I have a coral honeysuckle vine right here. So sad story. I don't know if the coral honeysuckle is going to make it. It was doing amazing and it's been such a tough plant, but we had to do some irrigation work back here last weekend. We had to dig this up and we had to lay down an irrigation pipe underneath it, and it literally was only dug up for like a half an hour before it got planted back down. But it did not like that transplant. It did not like being out there. And I think the whole vine is dying off. However, I do see, I don't know if that's part of it or not, but I do see some new growth coming up. So there's hope, but I might lose that whole coral honeysuckle vine. It's not happy. It's just continuing. But then I feel like that's new growth right there. We'll just have to see. It might completely defoliate and then come back. We'll just see. It's okay. Like I said, no big deal. I'll plant another vine in its place. I have 2 daylilies that are right there. This is just a spot that is mutilated. I'll be honest. This is a spot that my dog goes because raccoons come in from under here. And so she hunts for raccoons every night. And so things get trampled. And squirrels taunt her on this tree, and so she tramples everything here as well. So it's hard for me to grow things down here. I will be perfectly honest. And then I'll be honest, like I had Tithonia growing here last year and I have a ton of them coming up. I'm growing a new variety of Tithonia that is a dwarf Tithonia. So I'm going to pull up all of this Tithonia and plant my dwarf Tithonia in its place. So I still have to kind of do all of that. So let's get back up and I'll show you the rest. You guys, look at this hummingbird moth. Look. Oh, so pretty. So those are my proven winners plants. I'm going to use those in containers. Apparently it really likes that. How beautiful. I love this time of year, y'all. I just love it. Okay, back to gardening. I just had to show that to you. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love those things. Oh, they just really do look just like hummingbirds, but they're moths. Where'd he go? There he is. Wow. Okay, I'm taking you back in the garden now, I promise. All right, so now we're back up top. Again, I'll do containers. I may just actually do a separate container garden tour, y'all. This tour is going to be long enough as it is. But here's that Tangerine Beauty crossvine. I have 4 trellises, 4 Tangerine Beauty crossvines. They are 4 years old. And this is what it looks like after 4 years of growth. Unbelievable plant, Texas superstar. This is not an invasive plant. People confuse it all the time for trumpet vine. This is not trumpet vine. It is not invasive. It is a vigorous grower, so give it something to climb on, please. That it can just go crazy, but it is not invasive. It does not seed itself very easily, and it does not spread by runners in any way. So anyway, Tangerine Beauty crossvine, awesome, awesome perennial vine. I have another star jasmine here growing up this thing, and look, it's going to be putting on a bunch of blooms real soon too. All right, and then lastly, let me just show y'all my side yard that used to just be a mess. Gummy, no bark. Used to just be a mess, but I planted it up a couple years ago and I absolutely love it. Now, it is more neglected than the rest of my gardens because I don't get back here as often as I would like. And then I feel like the design is it's not quite what I want it to be still, and it needs some mulch. So bear with me here. It still is a work in progress, but here we go. So I planted foxglove here in this part sun location as an experiment, and it has done awesome. I should be getting some blooms here this year from foxglove. I have my other peony that is 4 years old that is coming up. Again, hopefully that will bloom. I have some scabiosa planted last year that's budding up, so that's exciting. And then I have Greg's mist flower here that definitely loves to spread, but that's okay. It's like kind of crazy back here, so it can spread all it wants. I apologize for the air conditioning that just kicked on. If that's bothering you, I do apologize, but I gotta get this tour done before it gets dark. So I have daylilies here. It's a beautiful coral color, but I also have some other colors of daylilies I planted last year. I have some amaryllis that's putting up its shoots. So I have 2 of those. I have more of them that are just not budding yet, and maybe won't because they're pretty new. Coming over here is Mystic Spire's blue salvia. This was an experiment. I transplanted it. It will do okay in part sun, or it says it does okay in part sun. So that will totally be an experiment, but it's doing really, really well so far and coming back. And then I have 6 endless summer hydrangeas that are leafing out. Already though, I'm seeing some chlorosis on these guys. This was just, this is a brand new garden bed that's only 2 years old, that still is super tough clay. All the things, not very nutrient rich, and so my hydrangeas have kind of just struggled the whole time with that. So I need to hit these guys with some iron, some chelated iron, and see how that does, because they have already gotten some fertilizer, some plant tone, and they still are struggling a little bit. This I forgot to put away. This was covering up one of my plants. I think I covered up my Mystic Spire salvia in the ice storm with it. Oh no, with this recent freeze, because yeah, anyway. So, I have those 6 endless summer hydrangeas, and then I also have some coral bells or heuchera. This is caramel. It's looking beautiful. And this is onyx. It is doing pretty well. I have a pink waxleaf begonia that came back that was planted last year, which is crazy. And then this is it Georgia Peach? I don't remember the name of this one, but I think it was called Georgia Peach, if I'm not mistaken. So those are super fun. I initially had 6. I only have 3 now after 1.5 years. So, you know, heuchera is kind of hit or miss for me. I do think they like being on a slope where they are. And then my puppy didn't help things by trying to dig them up as well. She somehow liked to dig these up as well. So each one of these has been replanted more than once. And I kept, you know, 3 out of 6 has made it. So yeah, not too bad. And then coming over here is, so all of this is shade because we have a crepe myrtle ahead of us. Once it leaves out, it will be dappled shade all day long for these hydrangeas and these heucheras. But over here, this will get midday part sun. And so what I have here is pink Turk's cap. It's already coming back. It's doing lovely. I have daylily, that same beautiful coral colored daylily is here. And then I have my monster, my oak leaf hydrangea. This is supposed to be a dwarf Alice in Wonderland oak leaf hydrangea. And it is supposed to be 5 feet by 5 feet at maturity. But in its 2nd year of growth, it reached 7 feet tall. And it's probably 4 feet wide. So it's been a rock star. This is only its 2nd full year. No, it's its 3rd full year. And look at all these blooms that it's going to put out. Oh my gosh. So this is what I mean with, in comparison to my other very tiny oak leaf that's just a baby, this guy is leafed out and already budding out. And then that guy just broke dormancy a couple days ago. The hummingbird moth just flew right in my face, y'all. He's like, bye. Anyway, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous oak leaf, and I cannot wait for those blooms this year. And anyway, so I'm going to be getting some mulch to remulch this whole area. I'm really going to be hoping that my dog doesn't dig it up anymore. And like, there she goes. But anyway. So that concludes my backyard garden tour for March 2026. Stay tuned. I will go ahead and take you guys on a container garden tour, including all of these, and tell you what everything is. I'm just really beginning to get my containers figured out, to be honest, and so bear with me there. But I just thank each and every one of you for joining me today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. I have so much going on. All of these plants are going to be going in the ground. And I just can't wait to see what this season has, and I want you to see it as well. So subscribe, and thank you to everybody who is watching today. You help me so very much, and I hope that each and every one of you has a beautiful day in your garden today. Bye bye, everybody.